All right, Pixel Junkies, we've got some drama going on over on Twitter. A bombshell being dropped by our good friend MKBHD, who has been a champion of the Pixel series for a very long time, adding a lot of credibility to the Google lineup. But if you are on the Google PR team, this is not the tweet that you want to wake up to. This is Marquez saying, quote, "My Pixel 6 Pro has slowly gotten so buggy since launch in October that I can no longer recommend it at $900. Combined with the latest botched update, it's just been a bad experience. My SIM is back in an S21 Ultra till the next review." So that's, again, that's not a tweet that you want to read if you're Google. He has spoken very highly of the Pixel 6 phones. You can see here he did have the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra as the phone of the year, which is the phone that he's going to be going to as his main device for right now. But he did give the Pixel 6 the best, I believe it was the best value award, and then the Pixel 6 Pro won the best camera award, which I thought was surprising because a lot of people love the iPhone 13 for the photography there. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe those were the awards there. So for him to say that, no bueno. But there are some important things to point out, and I was kind of going through the comments to see if there was anything interesting to dig up on this. He is still using the November patch. So there was a December update that's come out. Not everybody has received it. You can sideload it, which a lot of people have done. But it does seem that when you sideload or just when you get the available updates, which I do have on my phone, the experience is better. And I have noticed that as well. And again, Max Weinbeck was asked, "Hey, are you seeing the same problems that he's seeing?" He's saying no. Apparently his OLED is dying, which that's not a good thing to see if you're Pixel. But his SIM is going to go back into his 6 Pro after he gets the replacement. And he also acknowledges that his tolerance is much higher than someone like MKBHD, as long as Instagram and Snapchat are looking good. And again, he clarifies, "I do have the December update, and it's been better since then. Still some issues." What issues is Marquez happening? Down below in one of the questions someone asked him, he did list out a few things. He just said a lot of small annoying things. The display constantly drops way below 120 hertz, which I've only noticed, maybe I haven't paid as close of attention, but I've only noticed that within certain apps. And my belief is that it's less of an OS thing and more of a developer thing with the apps. So for example, Twitter on the Pixel 6 Pro at least is a little bit jumpy. And shout out to BMac for pointing that out. I never really noticed that until he tweeted about it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally a little glitchy there. And some apps I'll notice that, but like in terms of the main OS, I've not had it randomly do it to me. Again, maybe it was before, and since the update, I haven't noticed. The fingerprint sensor is still slower. This has been a common complaint about the phone since day one. This is the first time Google has done an on-screen not Touch ID. That's Apple, but it's their first time they've done a fingerprint unlock on the screen. If your average consumer is not going to notice anything with the speed. Is it slower than doing it on the hardware? Yes, but we're talking milliseconds here. Worst case, a second. But when you are a geek and you're just studying phones all the time, you're going to exaggerate those a little bit because that's what you do. You're really digging into seeing which is truly the better device technically and all that kind of stuff. But I have had some mishaps where I do have to do it, a couple times, but that's very rare. It's still they did a great job on the fingerprint sensor, but I understand that among the others, they didn't do as good of a job to the other phone manufacturers. But again, your average Joe, I would not make that something where you would then not get this phone just because of that one thing. Lock screen, he was having issues, and auto brightness. I think a lot of that was fixed. I mean, again, these are all very minor and small, like he says. It kind of adds up. But for me, I haven't had any issues with those since the December update. And for him, the camera app has started slowing down, which I've never noticed that. And I take a lot of photos, but everyone's different. I've just noticed, like, even as I've gone through Reddit, trying to see what people are saying about this. This is obviously a trending tweet over in the Google Pixel subreddit. And it's just really interesting. I follow a lot of headlines that pop up in here, and it just seems like, and I imagine this is the same with every phone, people have their own unique experiences, issues that I've never seen in my life on phones, and people have them and think that all the phones are the same. So just because I'm having a great experience in one area doesn't mean that someone else could be having a problem. And that's like I said, that's the same for every phone has those. I do want to point this one tweet out. I thought it was kind of funny. I got a chuckle out of it. This is Quinn Nelson of Snazzy Labs took a screenshot of his feed right here. And of course, you've got the Marquez tweet, which we just went through. And then you've got right underneath that, Max Weinbeck, 10 out of 10 people should buy the Pixel 6 over the S21 FE. Now, to be fair, and MKB does kind of point this out, MKBHD is talking, he's not saying I don't recommend the Pixel 6 Pro. I think he would still say it's a great phone. He's saying, with the issues it's having right now, I do not recommend it at $900. If the price goes down, if you're able to get it on sale, it's going to be worth it. And we all know, he knows right now, this is a temporary thing. Google's figuring out the software. It is frustrating that some of these issues are taking longer than they have. I mean, this is Google's sixth phone. They should have things a little bit more figured out before rolling out. And he does say, to be fair, Pixel 6 is way better at this price. And that is what Max is talking about. 10 out of 10 should buy the Pixel 6 over the S21 FE. And the Pixel 6 is honestly a great phone. I've had a lot of people ask me since I have been able to use the Pixel phone here, the Pixel 6 Pro specifically. Big thanks to Google for sending that out to let me test that. I still say get the Pixel 6. You're saving a lot of money, $600 versus $900. So it's $300 cheaper. And, you know, the differences in the phone are really not that big. The Pixel 6 Pro does have the curved screens. I've not had any issues. Most people have actually been really pleasantly surprised with how well Google has handled the curved screen. Not a lot of accidental swiping or messing with your display or anything like that. The phone is a little bit smaller than this, but this is also a gigantic phone. Every person that holds this, that's the first thing they say is, whoa, that's a big phone. Yeah, it is. And I've got big hands. So I wouldn't mind going down to a smaller size, but you're getting 8 gigabytes on the Pixel 6 instead of the 12, which is still great. It's not like a powerhouse like the 6, but it's still, for $600, that's really good to get 8 gigs instead of 6, what you're seeing on a lot of phones still. They're both getting the Tensor chip from Google. And of course, there's the telephoto lens. And that's another, from a photography standpoint, that's like a big difference here is you're not getting that 50x lens that you get on the Pixel 6 Pro. But if you're not taking like super zoomed in nature shots and whatnot, then there really isn't a big reason to upgrade to the Pixel 6 Pro if you're not doing a lot of quote unquote professional applications with the phone. So anyway, I thought I'd just quick throw this video together to kind of give you a little insight as to what's going on with the phone. So if you hear people trashing on the Pixel 6 because Marquez no longer likes it, he's more so saying, hey, I'm just not happy with the bugginess. Until this is resolved, I'm going to S21. It is interesting because a lot of people do accuse Marquez as being this Apple fanboy, Apple stuff in his pockets, behind the scenes. What a great opportunity it would have been to say, hey, I'm going to the iPhone 13 Pro. He didn't. He's sticking with Samsung. So overall for Android, big win there to keep him there. But yeah, it is what it is. I thought it was interesting. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. This video is a bit different. It was kind of off the cuff, just reacting to something on there. If you'd like to see more of this, let me know, and I'll definitely throw some updates together and kind of keep you guys updated a little bit more frequently. But if you haven't seen the most recent video I did where I cover some of the drama going on with iMessage right here. Whether you're an Apple user or an Android user, it really breaks down the whole green bubble drama based off a Washington Post story, along with just with some common sense knowledge about how Apple is purposely making iMessage suck for its users. So check that out over there. Peace out, Pixel Nation.